Can you hear me? Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Hello. Welcome to Gleen Network. We had some technical difficulties, but I think we're finally up and running.
I think so.
Hopefully. Can you hear me now? No. Did that fix the issue? Or is it still echoing there? Are you there, Bendy boy?
Oh, we have 2 people.
All right, thanks.
Neat.
All right, so after everything we've done, we finally think we figured out and got hooked up here. So we will see what happens here. Sorry about any technical difficulties we had. Welcome to the chat. Maybe we'll be a little more prepared and have things figured out next time we get ready to do this. Had some technical difficulties on the other computer, so we switched and came to our quicker computer, and so hopefully this works out okay.
And with this only being the 3rd time that we've streamed, we still haven't figured everything out yet, so maybe we have.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. We'll see.
Alright, we're going to talk about NXT tonight. Personally, I would like to see more matches during the whole event.
We had a total of 3 matches tonight, I believe.
Yes, we are still working out the bugs that are bendy. I would like to see, like I said, I'd like to see a few more matches. And this is the first time I've actually sat down and watched NXT, so maybe this was an anomaly, and this is something that doesn't normally happen. I should probably go back and watch some of the replays. And
this is the first time that I've watched NXT in a really long time, like the whole thing, without kind of skipping in and out. Just because I normally don't tend to watch NXT as often as like the more mainstream shows, just because. You know, I just really haven't. So, with that being said, I guess we'll go ahead and get right into the very beginning. And in the beginning, we had Velveteen Dream come out, and he talked about how he wants to go after the NXT Championship. And then after that, we had Adam Cole and Bobby Fish come to the ring and talk about the Undisputed Era and breaking up Velveteen Dream's promo and such. So that's really all the beginning was. It was just Velveteen Dream cutting a promo, and then, you know, there
was about 10 or 15 minutes of basically nothing.
Yeah.
I thought. Velveteen Dream comes out, does his thing, talks, is basically talking about, how, I don't even know what title is he looking at.
The NXT Championship.
Looking at the NXT Championship, and and then Adam Cole and Bobby Fish come out, and he throws them out of the ring, and then he scoots out of the ring after they're out of the ring on the one side, and then he goes back to the dressing room.
Yeah.
I think they could have filled their time a little better with that by actually having a match. I don't know. It just seemed like it was a lot of nothing that happened there.
Yeah. I really do like the Velveteen Dream character, because I think if you didn't watch the Tough Enough series a couple years ago, it was this guy, his name's Patrick, and that's who ended up becoming the Velveteen Dream, and that was like his character. And in the beginning, watching the Tough Enough show, that wasn't like a character he had even like, it wasn't like the style of character that he would have thought to portray. He was looking at more of like a tough guy, heel, but that isn't really what Velveteen Dream is. And so I think the character is like actually, it works out really well for him. I feel like he does better as the more babyface than the heel. So I like the character. I think they should just do different things with it, like my dad said. Then we went to like a commercial break where they showed a promo video for the Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair NXT Women's Championship match at TakeOver Phoenix this weekend. I'm actually really hype about that match. I really like both women that are in that match. Bianca Belair is undefeated, so we'll see kind of how it goes this weekend. But it was like, again, another like 2 or 3 minute video to fill time, which could have been filled with something else.
Yeah, I think they could add wrestlers out there and they could have like had a match or something. It's like the first 15-20 minutes there was nothing other than just promos.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because they have, NXT TakeOver coming up.
Yeah.
Is the why they decided not to have any matches tonight, and they did a lot of build up and things like that, but I would have just preferred to have,
Yeah.
If they were gonna do the whole thing, have matches that tie into what's gonna be happening at the pay-per-view on Saturday.
Yeah. So again, just a better use of time with that. I mean, the promo videos are cool. It's just like, you'd rather be watching like wrestling than promo videos over and over again. Then we go into a match finally after 20 minutes of sitting there watching promos. We have Danny Burch and how do I pronounce his name?
One Lorcan, I don't know.
Oni?
Yeah, Oni.
Oni Lorcan. I've actually never seen these guys wrestle before, so super sorry if I pronounced their names wrong. I think they're actually newer to NXT and more recent because I haven't ever seen them before. And they are a tag team against Fabian Aicher and Marcel Barthel. And that match was pretty simple. It didn't last very long at all. If it might have been 5 minutes at most.
Yeah, maybe. I thought it was a decent match.
It was a decent match, but there wasn't a lot to it. Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan ended up winning via pinfall. Again, just not great. But it's not like it was a bad match, but it's just, yeah.
Well, and the one thing, NXT is supposed to be for up-and-coming stars or people that are trying to make it into the, onto the main roster and things like that. So,
yeah.
Not knowing, the history of these 4 individuals, I don't know, where they stand or anything like that in the overall scheme of things and how long they've been in NXT or any of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, really what to expect from them. So maybe they're, new and learning some things and learning how to promote themselves and learning how to try and get over with the crowd and things. So again, it wasn't an exciting match, but at least it was a match, which was something that
yeah.
really
then
in the first half hour really didn't have a whole lot of.
Yeah. Then we went and we had another promo video for the Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa NXT Championship match this Saturday at TakeOver Phoenix. I'm actually really excited for this match this weekend. I really like Aleister Black's character. I like how he portrays it. I think he does a great job, and I feel that he deserves a championship opportunity. So I'm super excited to see how that match plays out this weekend. Then we went in.
I was going to say, again, not knowing a whole lot about NXT.
Yeah.
I have heard of both of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually seen them wrestle, but I have heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, it may be a situation where one of these guys could be looking to go up to
the main roster.
Yeah.
I feel,
or both of them. Maybe.
Or both. I feel
know.
like both of them have a really good shot at going up to the main roster. Now, yet again, I know both of them haven't been in NXT for, like, that long. I mean, they've been in there for a while, but Ciampa is newer than Black is, so I feel like they might keep him down in NXT for a little while longer and, see how different storylines play out. But I feel like Aleister Black is actually a really good wrestler and does a great job with storylines and keeping them going and making them interesting.
Well, and that's one of the key things in wrestling is keeping storylines going and staying on top of, your character and what you're doing.
Yeah.
So then we go into, is it Io?
It's Io Shirai and Kairi Sane versus Tanea Brooks and Amber Nova. First off, I've never heard of the two last competitors that are attacking.
And Amber Nova?
Yeah, I've never heard of them. I don't know if they were just like local competitors or what, because I have never seen them on NXT before. With Kairi Sane and Io Shirai, I have. And I actually really enjoyed this particular match. It was, again, very short, maybe 5 minutes at most, but I thought it was a really good match, and I really like both of them as a team. They both, having come from like the Japan wrestling stuff and then coming to NXT, I think like the mold of both of the styles of wrestling, I think they've learned a lot, and so I actually really like this team, and I think they both do a great. See them maybe come up to the main roster for the women's tag team championship belts that are supposed to be coming here soon. Maybe. I think that would be interesting to kind of bring them into the mix.
Well, I think one of the things they could do is, and it goes for all these NXT and even with SmackDown and Raw wrestlers, they could do some cross. They don't necessarily need to keep them in. Like, if you're a Raw wrestler, you do a crossover into SmackDown and even down into NXT just to try and get some of these wrestlers some pop. Mm-hmm. Pull some of these wrestlers off of NXT, for like one show, bring them up and see what kind of reaction you get. And not necessarily bring them up for full time yet.
Yeah.
You can see what kind of reaction they're going to get. And
that's what kind of like...
use it that way. I mean, it's I think if they do it the right way, I think you would figure out who's going to get the pop and who isn't.
I think that with like some of the new competitors that have just come up from NXT, like Lacey Evans and Nikki Cross and, people like that, they've just come up and they aren't like settled into a brand yet. They've been going off of Raw to SmackDown or SmackDown to Raw, and they've been doing different segments and stuff on both. And I would assume it's for that same reason, to just kind of see how the crowd reacts and see like, where do we want to put them? Do we want to put them on Raw or do we want to put them on SmackDown? So definitely, like, maybe we'd see some tag team championship gold on their waists in the future. I think that would be super cool.
Possibly. So that brings us to the next match, which was Velveteen Dream versus Bobby Fish with Adam Cole at ringside.
There was a little bit of interference in this match. I feel like this match was okay. But, again, it wasn't my favorite match of the evening. The women's tag team match was my favorite.
What's the name of their group? Bobby Fish and Adam Cole. Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era, yeah.
Maybe, just watching, having not knowing a lot about NXT and these particular wrestlers.
Yeah.
It looked like there was a little bit of, like, in the match, there was a little bit of friction with them. Mm-hmm. And so I wonder if maybe they're not looking to split them up, for if maybe someone within the Undisputed Era is going to move up to one of the main rosters, or maybe there's going to be multiple guys moving up, and they're looking to split them up.
I feel like of the group, Adam Cole would be the one to move up, because I feel he's been in NXT longer. And so he might be getting like a push to go up to the main rosters because he does have a lot of potential. He is a great wrestler and again does well with storylines, so they might be working to give him a push. He works really well as a heel. Now I've never seen him do anything like
break him away from being in the Undisputed Era is by kind of because I don't know. Did you see it too?
Yeah. I think it was kind of like, yeah. There were moments in the match where Adam Cole attempted to help Bobby. You know what I mean? Like, he attempted to cheat. And there was kind of like that vibe that Fish was like, no, I don't want your help. I can do this on my own. And then after Adam Cole pulled on the rope to take it away from Velveteen Dream, and the ref saw that. He was kind of like butting heads a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With being like, dude, like you could have just gotten me disqualified. Why did you do that? And then Velveteen Dream ended up getting the upper hand and pulled his finish off, and then he proceeded to win the match via pin.
So then that leads us to. We see Johnny Gargano outside the arena coming in.
To have a face-to-face meeting with Ricochet, who is the North American champion, and that is what he is going after at TakeOver. So they have built this storyline up a lot over the last couple of weeks. So essentially they end up getting into the ring, Ricochet is in the ring, and Johnny Gargano comes down and starts talking smack and this, that, and the other thing, and then they get into the ring, and did
Gargano turned his back and Gargano got outside the ring. I don't remember exactly how, and Ricochet had his back to the entrance, and Tommaso Ciampa comes down
and attacked Ricochet from
behind.
And then after that escalated into Aleister Black then coming out and attacking Tommaso Ciampa because they have a match that weekend, this weekend, and he's looking to win the title. And he attacked him. And then Ciampa ended up getting out of the ring somehow.
Well, they left Aleister Black and Ricochet ended up both getting left in the ring.
Yeah, they were both down because they had both gotten beat up by
Gargano and
Ciampa.
Yeah. No, Aleister Black.
What?
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Ciampa, sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
so they ended up Ciampa and Gargano are walking back up the aisle and get to the top of the ramp. Well,
Gargano gets this like look on his face like he's gonna like beat up Ciampa, and then out comes Candice LeRae and is like, no, we're not doing this. This is not happening. And for those of you that don't know, that is Johnny Gargano's wife in real life, and she's also a wrestler. And so, and they brought that storyline, that into the storylines of WWE. But she was like, no, we're not doing this. We've done this before. This is not happening. You're not gonna, that's not who you are anymore. New year, new you. We're not doing this. And so he ends up backing off, and we're left with Tommaso Ciampa standing there.
Yes.
At the end. And I said to Dad, I said, next week, Johnny Gargano is gonna get a bunch of crap for that. they're gonna end up saying like, dude, you can't fight your own battles. You have to have your wife come out here and fight your battles for you. What's your deal? Like, be a man. Do it yourself. You wanted to beat him up. Beat him up. Like, you don't need your wife holding you back, telling you, no, you're not going to do this, and no, you're not going to do that. And I think he's going to get a lot of crap for it next week.
Well, it could be a storyline they're starting to create, and so we'll just have to kind of see what happens. Like I said, not knowing a whole lot about NXT and the different characters from that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat have anything to say? Questions? Anything?
So if not, that is actually the entire show with a total of 3 matches and a couple promos, couple videos for the pay-per-view this weekend for NXT. I'm quite interested to see how everything plays out this weekend with championships, and I'm super intrigued by the Shayna and Bianca business because Bianca Belair is undefeated. No one has beaten her, touched her. Like, she hasn't lost yet. So I'm really curious to see if she wins the championship or if Shayna Baszler ends up being the first person to beat her.
Yes. I will tell you, before we go here, if you don't have WWE Network and you're a wrestling fan, I would suggest you get it. There's a lot of...
they have old school stuff. They
have
a
lot
like,
of old
the
school
new
stuff on there that I've started watching and been watching, and I've been trying to get caught up on some of this newer stuff, and started watching Raw this week and SmackDown this week, and then watched NXT yesterday. Or today. Today. So it's, if you like wrestling, WWE Network would be a good thing.
It's a good investment.
I suppose that if nothing else, then I guess we're gonna sign off. Hopefully, we plan on doing a show, and hopefully we will not have any technical difficulties.
I think Friday we're planning on doing like predictions for the pay-per-views that are coming this weekend. NXT TakeOver and Royal Rumble. So if you're interested in that, make sure to tune in on Friday for that. And then we will do the pay-per-views this weekend and the outcomes. So I'm super excited.
Yes.
I'm really excited to see how everything plays out with TakeOver and who wins both of the Royal Rumbles and who retains championships and who doesn't. So, yeah, just keep a lookout because we've got cool stuff coming this weekend.
And again, if you see anything you like, give us a thumbs up. If you see something you don't like, give us a thumbs down. If you give us a thumbs down, or even if you give it the thumbs up, let us know what we're doing good. Let us know what we're doing not doing good, so we can try to fix it. And make sure that you subscribe to our channel if you like what you see. Other than that, I think we're going to take off, and we will catch you later. Peace out.
Bye, guys.